Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. Joshua Irvine joins us with Irvine Law. Welcome to the show, sir. It's great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm excited to talk to you because we had to talk a little bit. I love talking with a little bit of the legalese. I don't know much of it, but mom was in law, so
Sure.
It's kind of fun to talk about a little bit. First of all, give us a little background on the business and what you guys touch.
Yeah, so our main focus, we work with businesses, small and large. We deal with some international stuff, and we deal with immigration, which obviously you hear about in the news.
Boy, yeah, right now there's a few people that are like, just their ears just perked up because there's some fear out here in Park City among some of our neighbors.
Yeah, well, a lot of the immigration that I handle is geared more towards businesses, entrepreneurs, investors.
Right.
And so a lot of what I do doesn't touch on the stuff people are
really worried about. Yeah, but still, I mean, for employers, that's an important consideration for them because, if you employ somebody in the wrong, that doesn't have everything together. It
Right.
could be a real drag in the business. It could get you in some trouble, right?
Right. So I've met with a lot of employers recently just to kind of give them some education, just some free questions to help them understand what are the pitfalls, what are some things to ask employees, just to make sure they're protecting their business and as well being able to donate and give to the community by hiring.
No, it makes good sense. And certainly, as you said, you want to understand the law.
Right.
And as the law changes so dramatically as it has, and in some cases stuff that's still being debated as to whether it is or isn't legal.
Sure.
There's a lot of questions.
Absolutely.
Wow. Talk to me a little bit about the international side of things, because this, I think, from a business perspective in Park City, pretty key. We've got a lot of people here who do business internationally.
Right. Well, I just opened up an office in India, actually, this last December.
Wow. And
I have plans to expand to Europe later on this summer. And it's really because I think in the last 10 to 15 years, business without borders is really a potential legal model, one that I'm embracing. So I can work with clients real time in a lot of different time zones. And so whether they're here in Park City or they're in Dubai or they're in England or they're in India, we're able to facilitate through relationships the same legal services.
Wow. So some late nights for you lately.
Yeah, early mornings and late nights.
Yeah, that's okay. That's the cost of doing business internationally, for sure.
That's right.
Talk to me a little bit about your clients and who is typically a client for you.
Sure. Initially, at least for the just general questions, I think small businesses are great clients. Entrepreneurs,
Sure.
Individuals that have a widget or a device that they're thinking of either bringing to the U.S. or expanding outside the U.S. and just sitting down and figuring out what that should look like. And make sure we put them in touch with the right people.
Help with patent law, stuff like that as well?
I'll connect them with the right people.
Right.
That's not an area we focus on,
Yeah.
but they're questions we ask early on to make sure we put them on the right path.
Yeah,
We want to be a
critical.
good resource.
Yeah, for sure. Because for those who are the uninitiated when it comes to that, there's a lot of scams in patent law.
There are. My clients receive unsolicited letters all the time, and then they call me up gratefully and say, "Hey, is this legit?"
And you're like,
no, don't pay that person money. Don't send them anything.
Yeah.
They're not giving you anything.
Right. So talking about NDAs as well, those are they hard to enforce? I get the impression that NDA is an awful lot like a waiver for dangerous activities. Kind of hard to enforce.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a security blanket that people
makes
sign.
you feel good, right?
But yeah, the reality is when you go to try to enforce a document, now you're spending tens of thousands of dollars.
And if they've got more money than you, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can say you're right, but at what cost? There's always a business cost to those things.
Sounds like how Mr. Mars stole my white M&M idea, my white chocolate M&M idea.
Right.
I didn't get a penny out of that,
Nothing.
but I couldn't afford to sue either.
That's right.
It's funny. I kid about that, but that's the truth. I mean, you got to be careful about who you talk to about your ideas. Some of them will take those ideas. They've got the capital to run with it immediately, and that means they also have the capital to fight you when you come back and say, "Wait a minute, that was mine."
Right.
Right?
I mean, I joke with clients, I wish you didn't need lawyers in life, but unfortunately, we're here because not everybody is good with a handshake.
Right.
And we're trying to help people be aware of that and protect their business as they grow.
It'd be nice if we could count on those handshakes, wouldn't it? But I guess that means there's a brisk business. You're pretty busy.
Yeah, we're definitely busy and always expanding, especially, with all the craziness going on in Europe and especially the UK, companies coming to the US or not, and what that should look like. So, yesterday I met with, at least by Skype, some clients in the UK that are looking to bring some of their ski technology companies here to Utah.
Oh, wow.
And just, I really like the outdoor space, and we can facilitate a great reception here in Utah for a lot of those companies, and I'm glad to be able to bridge that gap with them.
Yeah, there's plenty of I think plenty of interest when we talk about this is a town for international business. It is. We wouldn't necessarily suspect so, but people they want to come to, if they're going to move a business to the States, they're like, where is a nice place to go? Right?
Yeah.
Right? They're thinking, Park City sounds nice.
Yeah, Park City is a great one, and a lot of companies know about us.
Yeah.
They call us and say, hey, we heard about Utah. We want to come here to Utah. Give us 2 or 3 places we should look at, and Park City is one of their top ones.
Yeah, and I imagine the Silicon Slopes of the other side of the mountain here are probably another idea.
I think that's a spillover for certain kinds of companies, for
Right.
sure. And then the outdoor space is going to gravitate. I think Park City, Ogden does a big push towards that as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Those are definitely areas where we've seen a lot of growth with, we've got Black Diamond and some of the other companies that are big up here, backcountry. That helps.
Sure.
It's interesting how those companies, Skull Candy, they'll help drive business back to us.
Yeah.
But just by being in business.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Talk to me about the initial steps. If somebody wants to, where should they be contacting a lawyer when they're starting up a business? When is the point where they're like, I need to call Joshua?
Yeah, I think with any kind of legal service, but especially with business and international planning, that's the idea. It's planning. You can't be reactive.
Get on it early.
And you need to be aware that, of course, there's going to be a cost in setting up your business. There's going to be a cost in doing it right. But unfortunately, I've also met with clients that decided to save a couple $1,000s and do it on their own maybe. They found a contract on Google and it didn't pan out for them.
Try to incorporate in Las Vegas.
They're looking at, thousands of dollars in lawsuits later because they just didn't spend a little bit of an investment to do it right in the beginning.
And you got to be careful from a governmental standpoint too on some of these things, right? There are some legalities of doing, people who are like, hey, I know I can save on taxes if I incorporate in, right?
Right.
Maybe not the best plan.
Yeah, that's one factor of probably 10 that you should look at before deciding how to set up a business.
Wow. And this often involves sort of maybe a risk tolerance look. Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really an awful lot of what lawyers do now, sort of manage some risk, just like insurance does. There's a part of that in your profession as well, right?
Sure. I mean, I think lawyers kind of get a reputation of they kill deals and they try to get in the way and tell you no all the time. My job, at least the way I view it, is to facilitate your creativity. So you want to build a business, great, let me help you do it in the safest way and the way that's really going to build your growth for the future.
Wow. Think about that. That's not something I would have probably put at top of mind, but sounds like it should be from a planning perspective.
Right.
I like this, Joshua. How do people get in touch with you if they're interested in, they've got something going on, either they're starting a business or they're realizing that they might be in trouble now? How do they get in touch?
Well, of course, they can go on to our website, irvine-legal.com. They could give us a call, shoot us an email, look us up on LinkedIn. We're happy to be a resource, and a lot of our consults will do just a few free questions to point them in the right direction.
That's always helpful, and I'm assuming there's some advice online as well, some things, at least some questions you might want to consider, things like that?
Absolutely. We do some blogs on our website, especially on the immigration questions, so employers can submit questions that they have, and it might be the subject of an upcoming blog that we respond.
That's great. Joshua Irvine, it's Irvine Law. You can get more information online as mentioned, but either way, you need to think about protecting yourself and, more importantly, protecting your company. And if where we didn't talk about it, make sure you're maintaining that bubble between the two. Very critical as well. We got a lot more coming up here on the Mountain Morning Show. We'll be right back.